This morning we have had deliberations with the Ministry of Gender, and the subject matter of our discussion has been the performance contract for the ministry for the current financial year. You are aware that as a fifth administration, our overall policy framework and development agenda is anchored on the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, popularly known as the plan. To operationalize that plan, all line ministries have developed their strategic plans for the period 2023-24 to 2027-28, which has further been broken down into annual work plans. The strategic plans are aligned to both our bottom-up economic transformation agenda, the Vision 2030, more specifically the fourth medium-term plan, and other international and regional policy framework such as the EAC Vision 2050, the AU's Agenda 2063, and the Sustainable Development Goals. The Ministry of Gender is currently implementing its 2024-25 annual work plan, and we now need to get into a performance contract to facilitate effective implementation of the annual work plan on one hand and the strategic plan on the other. The performance contracting framework is a process through which the ministry commits itself beforehand to certain deliverables by way of clear interventions, clear programs and activities that will be implemented during the activity period. When it then comes to the time of the formal performance appraisal as at 30th of June 2025, we will then be undertaking the performance appraisal on the basis of what was discussed, negotiated, validated, and agreed on at the beginning. So that is the subject matter of our discussion today. We have agreed on the draft performance contract, and this now paves way for the formal signing of the performance contract with the appointing authority, which is His Excellency the President. Over and above the performance contract, we have also looked back in retrospect and recognized the major milestones of the ministry over the past 2 years. We have also assessed the level of digitalization of the services provided by the ministry. You are aware that it is an overall policy in government that all government services must be available for virtual consumption online by all stakeholders. So the ministry has given us an update on the level of digitalization. We have also assessed the volume, magnitude, and extent of absorption of donor funds. We envisage that any funding that comes into the position of the ministry, be they by way of exchequer release, GOK budgetary provision, or donor funding, must be absorbed within the current financial year. We have equally looked at the implementation of cabinet decisions, assessed the integration of the resolutions of both the Nanyuki and Naivasha retreats into the work plan, and we have also assessed the level of implementation of the government legislative agenda based on outputs of cabinet deliberations and what needs to be progressed to Parliament in the form of bills for processing so that they can be translated into law. We have equally looked at the level of implementation of our 15 billion tree planting project, which is a priority project of His Excellency the President and by extension the Fifth Administration, and this has been assessed with specific reference to the targets that were set for the ministry. Dongokundu Special Economic Zone project, this is one of the government priority projects which we had listed for purposes of inspection in line with the delivery management function of government. And we have had a very fruitful tour of the facility. We have engaged stakeholders here to listen to some of the issues of concern, some of the challenges that we need to attend to. I'm happy to report that one of the fundamental milestones that we have realized within the Special Economic Zone so far is to ensure that compensation for those who are displaced is at 90% completion rate. The remaining 10% will be sorted out by KPA in the next 1 week. Yeah? There were certain small challenges which are not insurmountable, so all those payments should be settled within the next 1 week. There have also been a bit of concerns about the vertical, the horizontal infrastructure. The Kenya National Highways Authority have assured us that they are at the tail end of the procurement process of onboarding a contractor to do a 4.5 kilometers road that will connect the port to the special economic zone at a cost of about 5 billion shillings. It is at the very tail end. With the contract is with the Attorney General as we speak. We are also looking at the other integral utilities such as electricity and water and even fiber connectivity into the special economic zones, so that we have got an ecosystem that is fully conducive or enabling to prospective investors. As we speak here, we are at the Taifa Gas facility. There are already work in progress. The fabrication of the plant itself is at 23% completion level. This is a facility that will employ 90 Kenyans directly and about 1,000 Kenyans across the entire value chain. So it's going to create employment, of course, prioritizing the locals, and it will also be a major source of contribution to the Kenyan economy in the energy sector. As government, we want to once more appeal to prospective investors to come in and invest within the Dongokundu Special Economic Zone so that they can enjoy the attendant benefits. We have got tax rebates by way of income tax, corporate tax, and even excise tax. So I want to assure prospective investors that the government will do its best to ensure that we have got a conducive and enabling environment for investors to deploy within this facility. And we are ready and willing, working together with all local leaders to create that necessary ecosystem. We're here inspecting government projects as part of the national government's delivery management function, which entails monitoring, evaluating, and reporting on the implementation status of priority government projects and programs. We are specifically visiting Mombasa and Lamu counties for a period of 6 days. Right now, we are at the Mombasa Port Area Road Development Project, popularly known as the Dongokundu Bypass. This road entails 2 phases, Phase 2 and Phase 3, being done at a figure of 24 billion shillings and about 4 billion shillings respectively, Phase 1 having been fully completed. This is a project co-financed by the government of Japan through JICA and the government of the Republic of Kenya on an 80 to 20% component basis. The road is currently at 98% completion level. By and large, the road is fully complete, and in the not too distant future, we should then be able to have the official commissioning of this road. This is going to be an impactful road in this area because it will open up the entire ecosystem of both Mombasa and Kwale counties. To begin with, in terms of attendant benefits, it's going to facilitate easier access from the mainland to the airport. It will also facilitate faster connectivity from the SGR terminus into the town, and it will reduce congestion at the Likoni ferry for those connecting from Mombasa to Kwale, because now you can use the bypass to connect from Mombasa to Kwale, and cumulatively it will reduce the overcrowding of traffic within Mombasa town.